Welcome to Pop Song Tech. I'm Otis Ranger. Music today is going to feature the debut single from the upcoming debut EP from Alex DeLeo. The song is called Make It Easier, and we're going to make it easier for technology and for you to break bad habits today with a product called Pavlok. We've got the founder and CEO of Pavlok in studio with us today for a great interview. His name is Maneesh Sethi, and you may have seen him on the most recent season finale of Shark Tank. Stay tuned.
More than 40% of our lives are spent in habit. For most of us, that time is wasted. The secret to transformation is not to try harder. It's to replace bad habits with the habits of excellence. If you wanted to transform yourself, how would you start? First, identify the habits that hold you back. Pair them with a negative stimulus, like electric shock. Each surge of voltage trains your brain and weakens the neural connection until the bad habit is severed. Next, replace the bad habit with a positive one. Reward yourself when you complete your daily goal. Commit to a penalty if you fail. The fear of loss stimulates your basal ganglia, while the chance of reward motivates your prefrontal cortex. In fewer than 30 days, the action becomes a habit. Pavlok is the first system designed to help you build good habits and break bad ones. Earn rewards when you succeed, pay the price when you fail, and experience the electric shock that keeps you on track.
Four sharks are out, but Kevin seems interested in Maneesh's habit-breaking watch, Pavlok.
I believe this technology works because I've seen it work.
Shocking. Positively shocking.
I can't marry this girl. She's awful.
How bad can it be?
She bites her nails.
So?
At their dinner table while we're eating.
Seriously, so what? I'm biting my nails right now.
So, do you want to go pick out our wedding rings?
Yes! But first I would like dessert. Tastes like ham. Ooh, yeah. That's a deal breaker.
To-do lists are such outdated productivity hacks. If you really want to get stuff done, hire someone to slap you in the face. San Franciscan Maneesh Sethi was tired of getting off task every time he sat down to his computer. He'd installed a tracker app that watched the sites he visited, and his productivity was sitting at 38%. So he jumped on Craigslist and posted what could have been a pretty dangerous ad. He would pay someone $8 an hour to sit and watch him work and yell at him or even slap him in the face if he got off task. The next day, he met Kara in a cafe where the experiment would take place. He gave her a list of things he needed to get done. And when he hit Facebook, the results speak for themselves. Sethi's tracker app showed over the course of the experiment, his productivity rocketed to 98%. But Sethi says it's not the threat of a good smack that focuses you. Kara was a sort of manager and editor all at once, someone who kept him focused and provided valuable feedback on the work he was doing. But getting some focus slapped into you certainly couldn't hurt.
Hey guys, this is Alex DeLeo, and you're listening to Pop Song Tech with Otis Ranger.
Wasted lives, you're searching for your headlights. Don't overpour your soul dry. Just let yourself, 'cause all my life I've been wanting to know if it's dangerous out there, should I go? We could stay, we could lay, we could wait for you, no, we could stay here, we could lay.
And that is an awesome short single there from Alex DeLeo. That's called All My Life, and I'm sure all your life you've been waiting to find the Pop Song Tech Podcast with me. I'm Otis Ranger. Greetings, my friends. I hope you had a chance to check out episode number 23 because I got great feedback on that. That show was the Bills show. And no, I am not talking about Buffalo football. I'm talking about Bill McGarvey's music and the insight on the media industry from Bill Harvey. If you haven't checked it out, I definitely encourage you to go back and listen to it. It was quite informative and very, very wonky. We like to be wonky here sometimes. And today we're going to be wonky about electrocuting yourself in the mildest of ways, not in a dangerous way, but with a product called Pavlok. And Pavlok, their CEO, is going to be in studio with us here shortly. Maneesh Sethi, he's going to be talking with us about the background on Pavlok, his background, dropping out there from Stanford University for a couple of years and going on the road, living in Italy, getting maybe some food named after him, as well as giving us some insight on his performance there on Shark Tank. And my goodness, he really got under the skin of the Shark Tank folks there, in particular Kevin O'Leary. But Kevin, if you're listening to this show, and I can't imagine who would tell you to listen to this show, but if you're happening to listen to this show, this is the show that you're going to get your chance to get back at Maneesh with the Shock Maneesh capability from Pavlok. There's a secret website that Maneesh is setting up. He's going to talk with us about that later today. But Pavlok is here to talk with us, Maneesh for Pavlok, to talk with us about breaking bad habits. And if I think about my bad habits, my goodness, I have none. That's right. I have nothing to apologize for. I am like a presidential candidate. Never apologize, right? Okay. I've got a few bad habits, but one of them, I think, if you were to ask people closest to me, would say that one of my baddest, my baddest habits, my worst habits, would be spending too much time on my smartphone, on my iPhone. And but I tell people, I'm doing it for my listeners, my listeners of Pop Song Tech, because I've got my smartphone out and I'm able to pick up some fun audio clips. And I've decided that I need to come up with a name for these things. The concept of the audio vault has already been taken by another amazing, probably the best podcast out there, TMOS. But I've got, a pocket full of kryptonite? No, a pocket full of sounds. Let's call it a pocket full of sounds. So from a pocket full of sounds, really what that just equates to is my smartphone and the voice memos app on it. We had a busy couple weeks here. I went on vacation down to Virginia Beach, and I'm going to share some of my pocket of sounds audio with you from the trip today. We've got from Virginia Beach, let's see, this was the week of Labor Day here, and on the beach, this dude's singing. I've always got an ear out for musicians, whether they be in Times Square or here on the beach, Virginia Beach, nice little beach if you've never been there. Pretty cool because they've always got jets flying over. They've got the Naval Air Base down there, so you oftentimes see the jets flying over Virginia Beach, interrupting nice musicians like this. So this is our pocket full of sounds. First off, Virginia Beach on vacation with the fam, visiting the grand folks. There we go. And we were there alongside the beach listening to that guy. And Virginia Beach, really nice time. And then from there, we drove up to, we went up to Williamsburg, Virginia, to Colonial Williamsburg. Check that out. Did not go to Busch Gardens, but did venture a little bit further north to where the lovely theme park called King's Dominion is. And for those of you that have never been to King's Dominion, it is kind of a mix between maybe a Six Flags and a Disney World. So not quite a theme park, not quite an amusement park, right in between. And they had Snoopy Land there. And at Snoopy Land, I took my two daughters, did we go on that? No, she wasn't tall enough. But my older daughter was old enough to, or tall enough to go on the Woodstock roller coaster, which we've got here.
Here we go!
So this is why we have to call this Pocket Full of Sounds, because this is what it sounds like when an iPhone is recording while it's in your pocket on the roller coaster. Yeah, you know what's going on right there. The chain taking you to the top of the hill, and up we go. This was actually a pretty wild ride. I love wooden roller coasters, and that's definitely what we had here. Arms up in the air. I've got some great pictures from this that were taken. Here we go. Top of the hill.
Big drop, big drop, big drop.
Ah, where'd it go? Ah, why did it just stop?
Big drop. Big drop.
All right, we got it back. And that's the first big drop. Wow. Gotta love those wooden roller coasters. Riding them with a 3-year-old right there. Fortunately, she's tall. Just tall enough to get on the ride. And what a great time I had down there with some family. Kings Dominion, I think there was one summer growing up down there in Virginia where I went 15 times in 1 year. And certainly now that my equilibrium has changed as an adult, there's no way in hell I'm doing that again. Snoopy Land, really good time. Lots of great rides, lots of great times there. And then I was back north, back to New York City, back to business as usual, and back to Bryant Park. And I was pleasantly surprised to see in Bryant Park that they are still doing some piano in Bryant Park. And, even in the background here, you've got piano, you've got the lovely melodic sounds of fire engines and ambulances. But piano in Bryant Park, even post-Labor Day. It's a nice treat there if you happen to be visiting. And 65% of you, I hear, are visiting from outside the New York State area that visit Bryant Park, according to a study that was done by Place IQ. In conjunction with the folks at Bryant Park there. But listen, it was a different pianist, but it was some of the same people. And I think there's actually some groupies out there, some probably 60, 70-year-old groupies for the folks there at Piano in Bryant Park. And so there's hope for us all yet, right? We can still get a few fans even in our 60s, 70s. I got a few decades to get there, but it's good to know that's what's there if I can figure out how to play piano and then go back to Bryant Park. But just a couple feet to the left there of Bryant Park, though, is, of course, Times Square, New York. And if we go here further to the Pocket Full of Sounds, we've got another, this guy, this guy's totally legit. This is like old school drummer in Times Square on the pots and pans. I love these guys. What I learned, though, from recording this is that there's actually a law in New York City now for performers in Times Square. You have to be performing in a little green area in Times Square. But even if you're performing in that green area in Times Square, like this musician was, they also have a rule that you have to be standing up. You got to be on your feet, and you can't have your equipment on the ground. And since this guy was playing drums that were on the ground, the cops were right there, and you'll hear that. He stopped. They're telling him. Yeah. Say, cops telling the guy, you can't have this stuff on the ground. He's saying, what you want me to do? And they made him pick his stuff up and go. But we got blessed there with just a few nice seconds of some great talent there from a drummer on the pots and pans, old school style there in Times Square. And ladies and gentlemen, that is our newest official segment called Pocket of Sounds. And right there from the voice memos app on my iPhone in my pocket. And so we're going from that, though, into some much better sounds. Let's be honest here. We've got Alex DeLeo up next. Alex DeLeo is a really, really super talented guy. He's a South Florida alternative indie singer-songwriter. And he began his solo career after his reputable rock band, Wildfly, parted ways in 2014. Spending the next year writing and recording music, DeLeo gathered most of his inspiration from traveling, using his songs as an uplifting way